and bam. Now it's this V of light. V of light?
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
I'm a genius. Hi, I'm Valentina V, and welcome to 4-Minute Film School. Today we're in this beautiful loft location in downtown LA, and we're gonna light 3 faces 3 different ways. I'm gonna show you how to do this, and this. Let's go. Obviously, different people are going to require different lighting depending on their gender, their age, their skin color, or even what type of shoot you're doing. Beauty's not gonna look the same as narrative. Today, we're gonna be using a lot of different techniques. We'll be playing with color, we'll be playing with different types of soft light versus hard light, and lens filtration. And I hope that I can talk you through some of my to-go methods for every different type of person, or at least just 3 different types, because that's the number of people we have here today. On a bigger Hollywood production, usually there would be an entire day or set of days dedicated to makeup tests and wardrobe tests, where the talent will go in front of the camera in their full wardrobe and makeup, and the cinematographer will run through, okay, what lens is best? What filtration is best? How are we gonna shoot this? What works for that particular actor? This is sort of my take on a makeup camera test, except we're actually gonna shoot some stuff. I'm super excited to be joined by my friend Kevin Reyes again.
Hi guys, my name is Kevin. I'm a DP out of LA, and I'm so stoked to be back shooting with you guys today.
Thank you for being here. Oh, that's the COVID high five. I'm really excited because we're doing 3 different setups today. We are doing a fashion setup, a beauty setup, and a more commercial setup that you know a thing or two about shooting fashion and beauty.
Yeah, a couple things that I tried to look for with fashion, beauty, and even narrative is soft sources. Soft sources are great because they make any face usually look pretty flattering. They hide blemishes, they hide any imperfections, and it really just makes people look good on screen. So I'm really excited to explore what that looks like for us today.
And we have the additional challenge of these windows, because they're just full-on windows. There's a lot of reflections going on. I specifically wanted to wait until nighttime to do this so that we can get the full, scope of the bokeh from the background. So lighting with soft sources is gonna be a little challenging, but I think we can get it done.
I think we can. We got the A-team, we got Valentina, I'm coming on board. We got this, girl.
We got this. For this first setup, where we have a fashion shoot, we are going to have him move about the space. Today, I'm mainly trying to shoot with telephoto lenses, so something like 50mm, 85mm, for a couple of reasons. The first one, if you have a wide shot like this, all of the little pinpricks of light in the background are really, really small. And the second, you can actually see the light source in the reflection. Not very good. But if you zoom in on the lens, then not only are you framing out that light, but also the balls of light in the background are growing bigger, they're growing softer, and it's a little bit more of a beautiful look. So here we have the Canon C70 with the Rokinon Zine primes, and I have my 50mm on here right now. The 50 is a really good lens for portraits, but maybe if we need, we can also punch into the 85. Before we start lighting, I want to get our talent in the shot so that I can build the lighting around what he looks like. So this is Cecil, and he looks so good right now. I have a lot of things that I'm taking into consideration when I'm lighting his face. So I had the makeup artist give him a dewy complexion with some highlights, because with people with darker skin tones, I personally like to focus on showing off specular highlights, how the light reflects off their skin and the fall off from the brightest part to the darkest part. That fall off should be quick. Also with darker skin, I like to shoot with harder light than softer light because it absorbs more light. Therefore, you can do that and it'll still look really, really good. So I want to key him with a hard light. That's also really helpful because keying with a hard light doesn't require a large soft source. So unlike the large soft source that's coming off from the top here and reflecting everywhere, and we're seeing all these reflections, having a single hard key is going to be good. When I'm shooting beauty, for example, I normally wouldn't use a hard key, but because this is fashion, it could be a little bit more editorial. That hard key is going to pick up on all of these really interesting details in his clothes. It's going to complement the outfit as well as his face. As far as the outfit goes, we have this cool look happening. It's both cool as in not warm, and it's awesome. We have the blues, we have the purples, we have the whites, and if you take a look at the color wheel, it's all on this side of the color wheel. So if I want to have any sort of other pops of light, I want it to be contrasted. So in the back, I want to pop on some orange lights. So when he walks in front of them, it'll look really nice. So what's cool about the 60X is that it has a tungsten function, so it's already going to be really warm for me, which is really nice. And then we have the 60D over here, which we will have to gel to match. Striking. I want to create more dimension, so I just close up the barn doors, and bam. Now it's this V of light. V of light?
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
I'm a genius. Literally everyone will, anything associated with V, everyone's always like, I'm like, yeah, V mount batteries.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Exactly. The next light that I want to set is the key light, which is going to be this 600D. I'm going to try it with the Fresnel, but I think I might switch it to the spotlight depending on what it looks like on his skin. So I'm going to tighten the beam up as much as possible because the last thing that I could possibly reflect off of is actually the floor. So let's see here. And can we get Cecil to come back in, please? So right now, I really like the light quality, but I want the bokeh in the background to pop a little bit more. I'm exposing for the key instead of exposing for the bokeh. So if I were exposing for the bokeh in the back, I would actually want to up my ISO slightly. But as soon as I up my ISO, it really blows out the front there because this is too hot. We still have the 600D up here. It is at 0.1%. We took the Fresnel off and put the standard hyper reflector on. But now we can't actually control the flood and spot. And that is not really great for the quality of light I'm trying to achieve. So I'm gonna switch this out for a 300D, which is a less powerful light, and a Fresnel 2X. So it's still a hard light with a Fresnel, but it's just less intensity. Perfect. Oh, there we go. That's what we want. So you see how his highlights popping on his skin? Last but not least, I added a filter in front of the lens. This is Black Satin 1. Specifically, Black Satin is really good for darker skin tones because it enriches the colors of the blacks. It makes them warmer and it gives a little bit more of a punch so that you can see more of that. His face is beautiful and his skin is so smooth, so we want to enrich that as much as we can. Our next setup is going to be the complete opposite. It's going to be the biggest soft source we have, a DoPChoice 5-foot Octa. Now the Nova itself is already a soft source. Inherently, panels are soft and it has diffusion in front of it. So why are we using such a giant soft source in front of it? Well, the bigger the source, the softer the light, the more flattering it's gonna look. Especially in a small space like this, one way you can get a soft source is moving the light farther away, right? Increasing the intensity and moving it farther. But in a small space, if you can't move the light like 10 feet back, you can increase the size of it. And soft sources are key for shooting beauty. So Ellen's face and female faces in general tend to have softer curves, you know, less chiseled jaws, softer cheeks, softer shapes to the eyes. So we want to complement that with the lighting. It also really helps to have your soft source be more circular, because if this was a big square soft source or a big square bounce that we were using to key, then the lights in her eyes would be square. It's a little less of an organic look. We just need a kiss of light, and it comes with barn doors built in, so we can attach a gel to it. I want to add a little bit of a gel to it to contrast with the product that she's showing, because this is a makeup ad. The product she's showing is pink, so the backlight around her will be blue.
I'm seeing a spot on her forehead because it's too forward. We need to back it up a little bit behind her so that it's just edging her so it doesn't fall onto her face.
And I would also dial it down a little.
Dial it down, you got it.
I think we could benefit from moving the key a little bit higher up and angling it down, because that's like a more flattering look.
I agree.
But we'll still keep the eye light, that reflection in the eye. It'll still be there.
And then what we can do is we'll see a lot of shadows underneath her chin because we rose the softbox. So what we'll do is we'll take that bounce and we'll bring it right underneath her so we can eliminate the reflection in the window, but we can also take care of those dark shadows underneath her chin.
We're also gonna add a 1 strength pearlescent filter right in front of the lens. Not only is that going to diffuse everything from the highlights to the shadows, it has these little specks that are gonna pick up on every single bit of highlights in her outfit. 3, 2, 1, action. All right, let's move on. For our last setup of the night, we have a liquor ad. And we have John here helping us out. He is our model.
Cheers.
Don't actually drink that. We are going to shoot this in color, but it's going to be meant to be black and white in the end. We will monitor it in black and white just to make sure that we're getting it right. When you're doing things in black and white, you might think that color temperature doesn't matter. It does, because different colors have different tonalities. Intensity is gonna be very important, and the quality of light. Now, since John is a male, like with Cecil earlier, what I like to do is not shy away from hard light, not make everything super, super soft, because that's really going to highlight the texture in John's face, and it's going to make him, this is a wizened man who you must buy this liquor from. That's really gonna sell the effect of this commercial. I'm using the same exact lens, I'm looking in the same exact direction, but now I've moved back, therefore giving me even more distance from the background. I still wanna retain that bokeh in the background, that city lights in the back, and match my exposure of all my other lights to that. For the key light, we are using the 60D, and we are adding a little bit of CTO to it. And we are gonna arm it out over the counter from the top. Now this is going to provide a really nice toppy sidey light and some good shadows on the left side of his face. So this light is actually perfect because it's really small and directional, and we can get it pretty close to him. So the only light that's falling is on him and the drink, which is the important part of the shot, right? Next, I'm gonna do a backlight, which is that 60X with some diffusion and CTO on it. This is going to create some separation from the background. All right, and striking. Right now, I think it looks pretty good, right?
Yeah, I think our subject's exposed nicely, separated really nicely. Yeah.
I would probably, I'm seeing on the right, it's falling into darkness.
It's a little lonely back there.
So if I had a practical, it's actually gonna be pretty okay, because there's gonna be no reflections if I'm just right there on the right.
I think it'll fit perfect back there.
So I'm just grabbing this from the other room. It's a great idea if you have production design in other rooms to use what you have. So we had this light in the other room, I brought it in, and we plopped a Aputure B7C inside of it. Striking.
That's a B7C.
I got a power. Okay, striking. Anything else?
Yeah, you know what? I'm also noticing that we have a perfectly exposed subject, but we're also kind of leaving the product and the drinks out. So I think we could probably get a smaller light to kind of backlight that, get the shine, get the reflections of the cup and the tequila bottle. I think that will look really cool if we backlight that with a small light. And then we have just a balanced kind of frame. There's light, dark, light, dark.
So is there a particular reason why you are backlighting the product?
When you backlight, especially materials that are see-through, glass, you get that reflection through and into the camera.
In old black and white movies, the makeup artist would actually overly accentuate all the features with highlights and contours. When you looked at the person in real life, it would look pretty funny, but in black and white, it plays. And that's exactly what we are doing here. So I'm gonna have the makeup artist come in, monitor the black and white image, and apply more contours to underneath his chin, to the sides of his face, so that we can get even more dimension to his face. Rolling, 3, 2, 1, action. All right, that looked really good, everyone. That's a wrap. All right, let's crack open this bottle and I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, cheers.
Valentina, we can't drink that.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, did you at least enjoy this episode?
I did enjoy it. Thank you so much for having me on set today. I learned so much. I know I'm gonna take a lot of stuff onto my own productions and I'm just super glad and grateful to be here.
Well, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. We talked about different skin types, skin colors, skin tones, ages. There was a lot in this episode, I feel like, and I'm really happy that you were able to be here with me.
Me too.
I wanna know, what is your favorite way to light faces? Let me know in the comments for a chance to win an Aputure B7C, which is one of these bulbs that we used in the background. If you enjoy the show, please give it a like and subscribe to the Aputure channel. Our social media links will be down below in the description. And until next time, happy shooting.
Bye guys.
All right, I'm out. Fall.
There you go.